flowers, no candy.
No jewelry, nothing.
No, no. But that's okay. I normally, what I do too is, it's like a tradition in my family that at least my father would always buy each of the kids, because I'm one of 4 children, so I have 2 older sisters and I have an older brother. My father would buy each one of us a Valentine's Day card and buy us a box of chocolates. And since my son is kind of little, I would still buy him a card or maybe a book, and then something, maybe a little stuffed animal, or when he was smaller, something that he could eat, a little treat for.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to do that either since I was sick, so Amazon.com saved me. So, oh, and another interesting thing about language learning is I learned how to say, "I cried into my pillow," in Finnish. It was a joke. I didn't really cry into my pillow, but I was able to say it anyway.
Excellent.
Yeah. So.
Well, hopefully, well, Vasmova Marta is coming up, right? I think Konstantin reminded us of that. So maybe there's hope yet, Carla.
Maybe. We'll see.
What our holiday this week was known as President's Day. And you'll notice when I type it, I'm very careful about where I put my apostrophe, because it's a holiday where we celebrate more than one president. I don't even know my own English here. So yesterday, Monday, was President's Day. And the federal government was closed, and federal offices were closed, and schools were mostly closed. The universities were open. We had to work, so we did not get a holiday. But it's a very odd holiday, I think it's fair to say. Carly didn't remember it, right?
No, I forgot.
In Finland.
Easy to do when you're here, though. Yeah. That's where it's nice when I log on to Facebook and I see a reminder.
Yeah.
I've liked American embassies in different countries, you know, so I can see what they're doing. And so I read a post first in Georgian about President's Day and saw the picture with President Obama. And I thought, oh, it's President's Day.
President's Day.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I put on the screen here a fairly famous monument in the United States. Sergey, do you know this monument?
Yes, I know it a little.
Tell me what you know about it.
Not much. I think that from the right it's Abraham Lincoln. I wonder.
Yeah. So right there is Abraham Lincoln. Very nice. So it's the faces of 4 of the presidents, right?
Right. Yes, you're right.
And Lincoln's birthday is this month. Lincoln's birthday is in February, so that's one of the reasons we celebrate President's Day. Do you recognize any of the other faces, Sergey? Maybe that one?
Unfortunately not.
Who can help us? Who's the face on the far left?
Maybe George Washington.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yes, I agree. George Washington.
Yes, thank you. So there's George Washington, and he's the other president whose birthday is in February. This one is harder, the second one in on the left. Does anybody recognize him?
No.
Thomas Jefferson, maybe.
Yes, excellent. Oh, yes, Thomas Jefferson. So I'm not typing these in the chat, but I usually.
Do you see them? I'm writing them.
Oh, yeah. Carly's labeling them. She's usually way ahead of me. So George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, we have Abraham Lincoln, and then the 4th one is very difficult. Does anybody have a good guess?
I guess this man has the glasses. It's maybe Roosevelt.
Yeah, and it's Teddy Roosevelt. So Theodore Roosevelt is the president here. And remember, there are two Roosevelts. There's Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Theodore Roosevelt. And he was a president late in the 19th, early in the 20th century. But actually, Vlad, you were able to identify him. Most Americans could not identify him, I would imagine. They would need some assistance. Nastia, do you know what this monument is called? What's the name of this monument?
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's called Mount Rushmore, and it's actually located, I believe, in the state of North Dakota, where early in the 20th century, an artist carved their faces into the mountain, and it's one of the most visited national parks in the United States. I think 3 million Americans come there every year. So it's a very, very famous spot. And I don't know if a lot of Americans visit it on President's Day or not.
Before I visit the United States, I always thought that this mountain located in Washington.
Ah,
Washington,
yeah, and most Americans
Yeah.
wouldn't know where it was.
And I was surprised, yeah.
And, you know, honestly, I would have to double check as to whether it's in North Dakota or South Dakota. I'm going to check it myself here.
See, I think, and I'm probably wrong, I think it's South Dakota.
I think you're right. It just says the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
you are correct. So it's actually in South Dakota. And it's one of those monuments that many Americans know something about, but not too many details in that regard. What we do on President's Day, though, is a bit odd. One of the things we do is shop. And maybe that's not too odd. Americans shop for a lot of things. Nastia, can you see the ad on the screen here for sleep experts?
Yeah.
So scroll down in that ad or resize it. What are we selling? What is the product that's being sold in this ad?
This is, I don't know. Maybe it's right. Low top? What is it?
Yeah, what does it look like if you look at the pictures?
I don't know this word in English.
Yeah, they're mattresses.
Like in Russia.
It's a tough word. Thing on the screen, Nastia, is it? It's not a piece of literature. It's not a photograph. What is it literally? What are we looking at?
Can you repeat please?
So what is this thing from Sleep Experts? Is it what kind of text is it?
What kind of? What?
The easiest would be it's an advertisement, right? It's trying to tell us something about a product that is for sale. You know, there are, as Carly says in the chat, there are lots of things for sale on President's Day. Olga, what types of mattresses are on sale in this ad?
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Talk loudly if you can.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. What did you ask?
What kind of products are for sale here in this ad? What type of products?
Ah, pillow, sofa, and phone.
Yeah, so different types of mattresses.
Thank you.
And what are the prices? So if you look at the first mattress, there are two prices, right? There's one there and there's one there.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is the sale price? Which one is the President's Day price? Olga. Which one is the sale price, Olga?
Sales price will go 399.
Yeah, so the sale price is the lesser one, right? $399. And normally, what is the price for that mattress?
199.
Yeah, normally it's $699. So today or yesterday, you could buy that mattress and save $300. Same thing with the mattress next to it, right? On President's Day, it's on sale for $499, but normally it's $799. Sergey, what does this phrase "queen set" mean? Queen set.
Queen set meaning.
Yeah, what does it mean?
I know queen is the head of state.
Yeah, so does it mean that a queen sleeps on this mattress?
Queen set, queen set. I don't know what does it mean. Queen set.
It's one of the ways that we talk about the size of a mattress.
Size of a mattress.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you a second ad. So we're going to leave this ad, and we're going to come to this second ad, and you can see at the bottom the very different sizes of mattresses in the United States. So a queen size is 60 inches by 90 inches. A full mattress is a little smaller, right? 54 by 75. And usually a full mattress or a twin mattress will sleep only one person, but two people can sleep on a queen mattress. And then you see the bigger sizes, a king mattress. Yeah, 76 by 80, and even larger, a California king.
When I see this size chart, it reminds me a lot of, for example, the twin bed is typically for children, I would think. And then perhaps once you go to college or maybe actually high school even, you might have graduated to a twin XL or a full bed. And most of the time in college dorm rooms, there'll be twin beds because that's all there's room for.
Yeah.
And then usually only when you're an adult, at least, I can't speak for everybody, but in my family, it was once you got older, then you'd eventually get, you get yourself a huge bed if you wanted a big bed.
Yeah, very nice. Konstantin, what are some of the sales in this ad? What are they trying to do to get you to buy a mattress?
Sorry, I don't get your question.
So what kind of sale is happening here? So the other ad said you can save $300. What does this ad say you can save?
I see. from 50 to 60%.
Perfect. Yeah, you can get 50 to 60% off. So this ad doesn't have any dollar figures. It just has percentages. And what else can you get, Kostya? Look in that little red circle there. What other sales can you have?
Extra 5% off.
You can get an extra 5% off?
60-month special financing with a sales card.
Right. So this is an ad from a store called Sears.
It's a credit plan, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's a credit plan. So if you use your Sears card, so you'll see in the upper left-hand corner here, this is the Sears store. So if you use your Sears card, you may get an extra 5% off, or up to 60 months special financing. So they're trying to get you to buy a mattress. So they lower the prices, and then they give you special deals, right? Many special deals. I don't know if I have a Sears card or not. I'll have to check and see. I don't think I do when I go shopping at Sears. Maybe I do. I'm looking in my wallet here to see. Carly wrote in the chat that many of the stores have special cards. So when you shop at Sears, you might have a Sears card. I don't think I have a Sears card.
What drives me crazy is how much they push these. They try to get people to get these cards, and most often, like you said, they're credit cards. And for example, when I was an undergraduate student, while I was going to college, I also worked part-time at Victoria's Secret, and you always had to try to get people to get these cards. Do you want an Angel Victoria's Secret card? Of course you do. You get all these extra benefits. You get these. Oh, I got so sick of trying to get people to
buy a credit card, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Sears is a very good store, right? It is in many communities, and it has many housewares and things certainly for your home or for your yard. And I think it's pretty reasonably priced.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So it's an odd holiday. We want to think about the president, but we buy mattresses. Who have I not picked on yet? Alyona. Who is this guy over here in this ad? What is this animal doing here, Alyona?
Could you repeat your question?
What type of animal is that right in the ad?
What type of animal?
Right. Yeah. What type of animal do you see right there in the ad?
I see. Sheep.
It's a sheep. Yeah. Why is there a sheep here?
And maybe they say that these mattresses was done from sheep.
That's one possibility, right? Because sheep are very soft, right? They have wool.
From a hair of sheep, but maybe they compare the sheep. The quality of hair sheep, they would like to say that mattresses are soft like hair of sheep.
That's one possibility. I'd never thought of that.
That's
and
true.
Then I never thought of that. Then there's this little message right by the sheep that says, "So comfortable, you'll never count."
Sorry, you'll never count these guys again.
Yeah,
I
what does that
understand.
mean, Alyona?
It's some problem when you can't sleep at night. You count and count and count sheep, but it's not about of me because I catch sleep very fastly.
That's good. So this is something that you recognize too. And Russians say counting sheep. To go to sleep means
Russian count
No,
sheep.
no, they have an advertising film.
Ah,
This sheep.
so you know them from advertising.
Okay. Yeah. This is something we often say. When you can't sleep, then you can try counting sheep because it's so very monotonous. Just 1, 2, and the thought is that if you do something boring and repetitive, then you will eventually fall asleep. I don't think anyone actually counts sheep. Maybe I tried when I was a child. But
For me, it's difficult.
for you, what?
Разрешите мне, I forget the word. Irritable. It's irritable.
Can you write it in the chat for me, please?
I'm writing in Russian.
Sure.
Irritable.
Oh.
Irritable. It's irritable to count sheep. It's not.
Yeah.
What are some other strategies you might use if you can't fall asleep? Nastya, if you can't fall asleep, what can you do to fall asleep? What are some ways?
Sometimes I suffer from insomnia, and I read books, and after that I sleep. It helps me.
As long as it's not a very exciting book, right?
Yeah.
A book that you just can't put down because then you'll be reading the entire night.
Yeah. Sergey, when you can't fall asleep, what do you do?
For me, I have two methods to go from this problem. Sometimes I play my guitar, but not very loud. And sometimes sometimes I take a warm bath. And it helps me, usually.
Yeah, very nice. So either music, right? Maybe play music or listen to music.
Play music by my own guitar.
Yeah, very nice. Or a warm bath.
Or warm bath. But I'm playing not very loud because not to.
Yeah, because you don't want to disturb your neighbors.
Just to my neighbors, to have any problem with my neighbors.
Yes, you have to play very, very, very quietly.
Because I'm a lawyer and I know that I can't have any problems with my neighbors.
Yeah, you're a good neighbor. I like that.
Thank you very much.
You try. Olga, what do you do when you can't fall asleep?
When I fall asleep, I can do two things. First, I'm going to the kitchen and drink a cup of milk with a spoon of honey. This is first thing.
Excellent.
And the second, maybe try to read something boring. Like sex code.
Yeah,
for example.
Read something boring. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to read something exciting, because, as Carly said, that will keep you awake. Warm milk, also very good, right? Great way. Konstantin, what do you do when you can't fall asleep?
Nothing special. I don't know. I remember a joke of our old actress. What do you do when you're going to sleep and can't do it? And she answered, "It's easy. I count before 3, but sometimes before 3:30."
Ah, very nice. So there's that notion of counting, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. So it's an odd holiday, but one that the schools close and the government closes, and so it definitely many people did not have to work yesterday.
I'm sort of with Dr. Marston on that one too. Growing up in Iowa, maybe it is different, like you mentioned, Professor Smith, because we always, at least I think, to my mind, we always had school on President's Day. It was just almost like another day that you would perhaps do a fun activity or some extra assignment. I mean, you would do something to celebrate it at school. But
maybe read about Lincoln or read about
Yeah.
Washington.
I remember reading some old, I don't know if it's actually a true story, but there's a story about George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. I don't know if you guys had ever heard this. Supposedly when George Washington was a little boy, he'd chop down a cherry tree in his yard. And his father asked him, "Did you chop down the cherry tree?" And the famous line is something like, "I cannot tell a lie." Am I right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
So he was supposedly just known for being so honest. "I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down the cherry tree." We would read those sorts of things. And again, I don't know if that's true or if it's just a tale that circulated. Who knows? But it's kind of fun.
A myth. We'll have to figure out if that was a true story or not.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, we had asked each of you to prepare your elevator speech. Remember that an elevator speech is 2 or 3 sentences that introduce you. So let's go around the group, and this was the thing we talked about last week. If you are meeting somebody, and maybe you're on an elevator, or maybe you're in a subway, or you're in a car, and you have a very short period of time to tell them who you are. You can't say 10 sentences. You don't have time. You can only say 3 sentences, and you want to introduce yourself. So, Olga, do you want to give it a try? If you meet me on an elevator and you have 10 seconds, 3 sentences, what would you say?
Can I get a little more time for it?
Yeah, so I'll ask Carly. Carly, Professor Storm, can you, if you meet me on an elevator, what is your elevator speech?
Okay, so I'll pretend like I'm meeting you on the elevator.
Yeah.
Walk on. Oh, hi there.
Hi, good to meet you. You look familiar. What do you do?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a graduate student, or actually a postgraduate student. I forgot that I graduated. I am a researcher, and I live and work in Finland right now, but I'm an American. Yeah. What about you?
Very nice. Oh, my name's Pete Smith. I'm a university teacher and administrator, and I'm from Texas. I'm at the University of Texas. Mm. So did everybody see how short those sentences were? I know many things about Carly. She could have talked for 10 minutes and told me all sorts of details, but she gave me real short introduction to herself, so I know who she is and where she works and where she comes from. And it was very conversational, right? The sentences were short, and we each exchanged some information about that. So, Olga, do you want to try that with us? A little role play?
I'm Olga, and I'm from Mons. I'm a lawyer and have a little law firm in Mons.
Okay, and you could probably start there.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. See, so we learned your name, we learned where you're from, we learned what you do, and we learned something unique about you, right? You have a law firm, a small law firm, and then that would give me a question I could ask you, right? You know, the word we use for that last thing you tell is we call that the hook, right? I might say, oh, what kind of law firm? Or how many people work for your law firm, right? You gave me a little bit of information about something really interesting, and that would let us keep talking. Very nice. Elevator speech, 4 sentences. Nastya, do you want to try it? Pretend we meet on an elevator, and I'll say, hi, how are you? You look familiar. Who are you?
Okay. I'm Nastya. I'm from Mons, but now I'm living in Bulgaria. I work as a coach in Student Studio, and I very love to go and TikTok.
Very nice. See what you did? You gave me exactly the information I needed, where you were from, where you live now, what your interest is, right, what your job is, and that good hook, right? So I could ask you another question. Very nice.
Good job.
Good job. Sergey, do you want to try it?
Yes, I want to try it.
So we get on the, yeah, Carly's going to meet you on the elevator.
Okay. Ding! Door's open.
So hi.
Oh, hi. Hi there.
My name is Sergey, and I'm a lawyer, but I play guitar better than I do my lawyer job. So if you want to see how I'm playing, I'll be ready to do it.
Ah, that's so awesome. Do you have your guitar with you now?
Please repeat.
Do you have your guitar with you now?
Yes, I have a guitar with me now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. A lawyer who plays guitar. Very cool.
So see how Carly just picked up on that and could say something new and interesting and talk about how interesting you are. Just enough information, but always one little interesting fact, idea, hook. Very nice. Who haven't we picked on? Alyona, do you want to try it?
I'm Alyona. I live in Omsk. I'm a student. I study finance and credit.
Very nice. So I might ask you a question, right? So that last line, right, I study finance and credit, it gives me a lot of questions I could answer or ask you, right? I might say, what kind of job will you get when you graduate?
I may work in the bank, but it's not interesting for me. I may work in different companies, by finance, by accounts,
Yeah.
financial department.
Yeah, very nice, right? So you gave me a hook. You said, I'm studying finance and credit. And then I can say, just a very natural question, right? Oh, what kind of job will you get? And then you told me. And so now we've connected. We've had some conversation. And every time I see you in the elevator, I will remember what you are, what you're studying, what kind of job. Very nice. Vlad, Carly, why don't you and Vlad meet in an elevator?
You can't forget the sound of the elevator opening.
Yeah.
Ding! Open.
If I would met Carly in the elevator, I will tell her something like that. Don't drink and drive, but if you do, call me. Attorney at law. This is my car.
Nice.
Very, very nice.
Special price for new clients.
Special price.
Oh man.
So it's an
Like a
elevator
car
speech,
salesman.
and it's an advertisement, right?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I was wondering where you were going with that at first, but it worked. Worked out in your favor. Very nice.
Very
Creative.
nice. Konstantin, Carly, I'll let you meet Konstantin in the elevator.
Ting. Hello there. I think I've seen you around here before.
Hello, my name is Konstantin. I'm from Moscow. I'm machinist of Metro, Moscow Metro. Sorry, this is my floor.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, you were lucky. You got your floor. I didn't get to ask you another question.
But there would be very logical questions, right? I might say to you, wow, getting to work in the Moscow subway, it's very beautiful, isn't it, that subway? And then you could then you could tell me about it, right, Konstantin? You could, because that's something unique to you.
Yes, I can.
Very nice, very nice. Did we get everybody? Did I miss anybody? We make American students practice this because as you graduate, right? So Aliona's going to graduate. She's going to go out and look for a job. You always want to network. You always want to know people. You want people to know you. It's important that you can present yourself appropriately, and maybe that person on the elevator will give you a job or remember you or help you in some way. So one of the things when American students are close to graduation and they're writing resumes and trying to find a job, one of the things we have them practice is their elevator speech. So very good. I like it. All of you have very good elevator speeches. Excellent. Excellent.
Should I comment on their posts?
Yes,
now,
would
perhaps?
you? That'd be wonderful.
So first of all, I want to say that you guys all did a really, really wonderful job on your posts in the blog. I was really impressed. They were wonderful to read. So did you have a chance to look at my comments yet?
Of course.
Yes, yes. So I just wanted to thank you for that. That was wonderful. I really enjoyed reading them. And probably what Professor Smith and I will do is we will alternate. I'm guessing. We'll talk about this more, but sometimes Professor Smith will grade you, and sometimes he will provide the feedback, and sometimes it will be me. So it won't always be me. You'll get comments from Professor Smith as well. So I just wanted to say thanks and good job. And Nastya, did you get my link since you mentioned Tom Hanks?
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, she mentioned that for her, she thought Tom Hanks was the quintessential American, and perhaps you had seen it, Professor Smith. There's pictures that went viral, as they say, of Tom Hanks with a fan. The fan was pretending to be drunk, and Tom Hanks was just a nice guy apparently, so he took some pictures with them, and they just were everywhere.
I have not seen this photo. I'll have to go look for it.
Yeah, the link is in my comment to Nastya's.
Okay, I will go look. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is, right? You know, he has that quality, right? You know, that really interesting quality.
That's always wonderful when a celebrity is equally kind and talented.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Carly, I'm going to pass the baton over to you, and we'll talk a little bit about Sochi and the Olympics. This is a hot topic.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
hot topic.
Yeah, it is. I'm curious, first of all, to see, and I apologize that it wasn't clear initially in the assignment. I didn't mean to look on BuzzFeed for news articles related to the Olympics. I meant, well, in general, look for articles, right? So did anyone read English language articles about the Olympics?
I have read.
Konstantin, you did?
Yeah, I have read, but not your. That not that articles that you recommend, but Konstantin Shostakov.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, and Sergey, did you say
Yes,
something?
I have done.
Perfect. Perfect. So I'm curious. Maybe you can tell me, and ladies, if you've read something too, I would be curious to hear your impressions. You could say, I read an article from the Washington Post. My impression was that I'm curious. I want to hear if you think the reporting was fair, if it was really, really negative, or just what you thought about the article that you read. Who would like to
I
Last that you-
remember one article very negative about that judges were very their grades were very, very high, and that was the I will find this article.
Yeah, so you're talking about the figure skater who retired suddenly, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Did anybody else read any articles about Kushenko? No?
I read the article about hockey and in the New York Times, maybe I don't remember exactly. This was article about the match between Russia and America, and they wrote about Oshie. It's right, Oshie. He's the new star of America hockey, or Canada hockey. America hockey, as I understood, he did much for the team, for his team in this match.
Okay, yeah. So, good. So you read an article about hockey, and did you find that other article you were looking for, Vlad?
Sorry, what?
Did you find the article?
Yes. USA Today. This one.
Okay.
About Kushenko scores. That's what I meant.
Okay. And they were just extremely critical of him, or what? Just negative scores? Bad scores?
Yeah, the comments of Americans. I forgot the guys who you know.
No, that's okay. And yeah.
I forgot.
Basically, I'm going to start a new whiteboard here so we can get a better idea about this. Okay, let's talk about media coverage. We'll say media coverage of the Sochi Olympics. I'm going to say specifically by Americans. Of course, they could be Brits or something too. I've seen these, but we'll say about Americans. So, okay, the reason I'm asking this is because when people aren't focusing specifically on the sport itself and on the results, they're talking about Sochi. They're talking specifically about the city and about the government, about these things. And when they report about these things, there are some common threads. So Nastya or Olya, have you heard any of these things? What are people saying about Sochi and the Olympics in general in Russia?
I read that American special service think that risk of terrorism. After that, after the bombing in Volgograd, had this problem, and this problem came to before. And in American think that it's really quite trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to start another little comment here saying real issues, real or serious issues that people are reporting on. Because would you say that that is a legitimate, is that a good issue to focus on? I mean, as a reporter, is it important that they talk about a terrorist threat? Is that normal? Can anybody answer? Oh, Vlad, there are many more negative things about social media that I read. Well, maybe what we'll go on here, we'll go forth with so that everybody can comment. There is a Twitter thread called hashtag, and hashtag is the number sign, hashtag Sochi problems.
Yeah.
And has anyone seen this? Has anyone seen this? I heard someone say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely negative. There are a bunch of photos and things on there, just focusing on a lot of the negative aspects. Here is one. I took screenshots of some of these. So here, if you can see it, I apologize if the text is small. The first 1,000 people to arrive at the opening ceremony get a complimentary shovel and workstation. So it's poking fun.
What are they poking fun at, Vlad? What is this ad poking fun at? Carly finds the best one, but I love this one.
Comment?
So to poke fun at is to laugh at or to make a joke of, right? So, and you see the comment here. I circled it in red. So does anybody have an idea what they're making fun of or what they're poking fun at?
No idea.
No idea? Alyona, do you?
I'm making the question, what is the problem that the post so their story? I suggest that some works are not wasn't finished before the opening the Olympics. I don't know how to comment it, but as for me, maybe some some problems maybe in such big events, and I hope the administrations of Olympics will solve it.
Yeah, what you said is very true, and I'm showing these pictures now not to condemn Russia, and I'm definitely not saying that I agree. We're trying to learn about how the American media portrays how they show Russia and how they show the Olympics. And this is a lot of what we were seeing in the days approaching the Olympics. So exactly, you were precisely right, though, that the criticism here was that Russia wasn't prepared. They didn't have it done. That the opening ceremony was about ready to begin, and people were still working with shovels in the dirt, for example. So you were exactly right. That is what they are making fun of here. And here's another similar one. The grass is always greener on the other side.
That's okay.
When you paint it.
She colored.
Russians always do it in army.
Really?
I agree with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Tell me more about that.
I've never seen that. Do stuff in the army. I have a question. I have never seen that soldiers paint the grass.
I heard a lot of story about it.
Oh, I have a lot of joke, but not real story.
Huh.
Who knows? I never been in army. I can't say exactly.
I get it.
Sergey, what were you going to say?
I hope it's a joke that people color dress at army.
Yeah, I hope so too. This is something that's supposed to be humorous because a lot of the journalists were making fun of the hotels in Sochi. So what does it say? Somebody read the first one?
My hotels lobby is missing. Still in my room.
So what do you do if your hotel lobby is missing and your room is missing too? The solution there. Here's the problem, here's the solution. 4 shots of vodka, enough to warm you up for the wait. So this is
small too.
Vodka is solution.
yeah, that's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. It's a joke. But
4 shots of vodka.
yeah, it's 4 shots of vodka.
To warm you up for the one.
Yeah, while you're waiting, have 4 shots of vodka. This represents another common thing that journalists have been talking about, how stray dogs have been rounded up in Sochi. Yeah.
If you take 2 bottles of vodka, you can
Barter, so you can trade. You can perhaps find another temporary place to stay. So,
it's not a joke.
it's not a joke. I don't want to spend too much time on each one of these, but I did want to show you these so that we can discuss the overall trends here. This I really loved. This I really loved. The whining Olympics. Because that's what it seems like sometimes to me, is that Westerners are whining because something is not up to their standards. Everybody knows what it means to whine? Except here it's misspelled. Forget this G. Pretend that G doesn't exist. To whine is like, oh man, oh come on.
We have to do that.
Yeah, why? Come on. That's whining.
Teenagers whine very well.
Yeah, or pampered adults, privileged people whine. So these are the whining Olympics, what the Westerners said. So they're like, oh man, I have to hang my clothes to dry. Oh man, non-organic. So each one of these is something making fun of Western perceptions of how they were received in Sochi. This woman here, wow, isn't there a committee that votes on Olympic locations? So what is the overall criticism here? What does this picture with this caption say? Does anybody have an idea? Constantine?
I couldn't see the letter, even see the letter.
So it says, wow.
Could you a bit into this picture?
I
can see even in my glasses.
There's a magnifying glass towards the bottom of your screen with the plus sign and the minus sign. If you click on the magnifying glass with the plus sign, you'll be able to zoom.
Where is it?
Pete, maybe you can help me. I don't know how to explain the location of it.
Yeah.
From Nizu.
No. So the 77%, or that which you see.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it says, wow, isn't there a committee that votes on Olympic locations? This little caption, along with this picture, represents another popular sentiment that's going around right now. Does anyone know what that is? What are people saying about the Olympics in Russia? About Russia as a location?
Olympics in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Was the overall criticism.
Yeah. Or ladies, do you guys have any ideas? You're awfully quiet. Yeah.
The Russians about Olympics in Russia.
Well, that's interesting. What are the Russians saying?
Different opinions.
Some of Russians are proud of location of Olympics in Russia. Some of them consider that we have different problems which are more important than Olympic. To be honest, I considered in the same way before before beginning the Olympics. But when I see the Olympics, I like very much figure skating and hockey, and now I think that we should do it because it's very important for Russia in this. Very important for Russia because we're a big country and we can't refuse.
Yeah. And Constantine, what else were you going to say?
The same.
Same.
There are the different opinions. Sometimes like it, sometimes fond of it, sometimes proud of it, sometimes some of us hate it. They're all spectrum.
Yeah.
How did the Russians feel about the U.S. hockey team beating the American hockey team, Constantine? What reaction?
You see, reaction. Normally. It's first match. It's been nothing.
You know that hockey is a very important game in Russia.
Not exactly. It was a very important game in Russia. And today our authority tried to make it great game again. But they don't manage it yet.
They haven't quite managed to.
And I'm not sure that they can do it.
It's a big task, right?
Yeah.
And I won't.
Can I tell my opinion about social games?
Of
Yes.
course.
As for me, I think that our president decided to take a chance to refer the Olympic game in Russia because it may be a political step for our government. Because our president decided to prove to other countries, to other presidents, that Russia is a great country and we have enough money, we have enough resources to fulfill this event. And I think that we took many gold medals on this Olympic Games. Maybe I wonder.
I think it would be interesting. Vlad wrote in the chat something else funny that he'd heard, a story that he read, and I actually have the picture that goes along with the story that he read. Vlad, can you tell us?
There are many jokes about this between us.
About the picture with the door?
Oh, yeah.
About the sleeping of Medvedev, I've seen in the chat and I thought you asked about it. Sorry.
Oh, yes. No, that's okay. Yeah, so Medvedev was really sleeping?
I don't know, but the picture was about it.
Photoshop. I don't agree.
I can provide you a picture.
Oh, that would be good. Please do.
I haven't seen this.
It will be in the history, in some funny histories of the Olympic Games.
Oh, man. Yeah. And I have a picture here with the broken door, the sort of smashed door. Vlad had read a story about that. Did you guys hear about it? Did you all hear about it?
Maybe some of sportsmen we were very nervous before competition.
Maybe somebody was very happy.
Maybe, but no, actually what happened is that a bobsledder got trapped in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out.
But it is not the most funny story, because in the next day he was trapped in the elevator.
In the elevator, yeah, he got trapped again.
Yeah.
Yes. I got to thinking, well, did he really have to destroy the door that way?
He was in there for like an hour, apparently.
Yeah, but then maybe he did, if there was no way to get out. I don't know. So, I'm also wondering, because a lot of these photos have become memes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know the word meme? Or maybe somebody can provide me with a good definition. Does anybody know?
Meme? Yes, of course.
Yeah, but can you give me a definition?
It's, some events, photo, video, other stuff on the internet which became very popular.
Precisely.
And, yeah.
Went viral, spreads very quickly, right? So now there are a lot of memes about Sochi, and I am going to share my screen. Just if you want to see what's going on. Oh, come on. Yeah. I typed in memes Sochi Olympics. This is what I got. Some are just really funny pictures when someone happened to have a very unfortunate expression on their face. I like it. Personally, I like this one. Do you see it? Yeah. There's also they've had a lot of things like this, or images like this one, where they've superimposed Miley Cyrus
excellent.
on something. Yes, what I love is that whenever something goes wrong, they put Miley Cyrus there. On some of the pictures of the hotel rooms that looked like they were destroyed or they were messy, they put Miley Cyrus in there on a wrecking ball. I thought that was very clever. I don't like Miley Cyrus. Perhaps that's why I think it's so funny. But yeah, and a lot of people. I'm curious if you've heard this, Professor Smith, that there's another news site that's satirical. It's called so it's not even really news. The Daily Current. They posted an article about how the man responsible for the Olympic ring mishap during the opening ceremony was found murdered in his apartment. And people took it seriously.
People believed it.
People really believed it. Some of my friends were posting this on Facebook, and I said, nah. And I went and I had to look, and yes, this is a humorous website, but people were taking it as the truth. So I don't know if you have any overall comments of what we can say about coverage of the Olympics.
One of the things that I noticed is once the sport began, people were more focused on the athletes and less focused on the hotels. And Carly used a really good word. I think we need to put it in the chat again, spoiled. Many Americans who travel are very spoiled and expect that everything be like America and look like America and that the food be the same as in America, which is not true if you leave the United States, but they have not had that experience, and they're not very adventurous, right? Part of going to a different country is that it's different, and Americans are famous. We are world famous for being not very adventurous in our travel.
Yeah.
So if the water isn't drinkable, go find some water that is. What I say to my teenager is, get over it.
Yeah. That's why when we were talking about culture shock, that's one thing that they caution you about before, well, at least they should before you travel overseas, is to keep an open mind. Don't expect everything to be like it is in your home country. Don't always compare the two because it's going to be different. You just have to accept it and try to cope with it and do what you can.
Carly, if you could make me the presenter, I have a little video clip I want to share as we are finishing up today.
Sure.
I brought this video clip of an American athlete. It's only 45 seconds long. Let me go ahead and get it uploaded here. We're going to send you home. Your homework this week coming up will be to work with 2 videos, and this is going to be one of them. And I'm going to go ahead. We're importing the file now. Can everybody see the video file yet on the whiteboard?
Yes, we can.
I'm going to try and play it now. If it doesn't play, I'm going to give you the URL here. Just a second, if I can find it. Too many windows open here. I love the picture of Medvedev. Okay, so I'm going to try and play this, and I want you to listen to his English. This is an American who is famous for snowboarding, and we're just going to listen to the English that comes out of his mouth and how easy it is to understand. So if it plays for you on the screen, that's wonderful. If not, click on the link and listen to it. We'll listen for a minute. Did that play for everybody?
I heard it.
Aliona, did that play well for you?
Sergey said yeah in the chat.
Okay.
Yo.
Sergey, why don't you start us off? What were your impressions of this young man? When you look at him, what do you think? Does he look like a very formal person or a very informal person?
He looks like an informal person.
Yeah, it looks like a very informal person. I'm going to stick his name in the chat. It's Sage Kotzenberg. What did you think of his English, Sergey? Was it very proper, very high style?
I didn't understand half of his words.
and I laughed, Sergey, because I didn't understand half his words either.
It's because it's a bunch of filler words. It's like, you know, I mean, talk like such a teenager. Yeah. Like a teenager.
So one of the phrases he said was, "This is the craziest thing ever."
Even looks like a teenager.
Yeah, who was that? Who just said that?
As I heard, he said about, I'm proud of America.
I'm proud to represent America.
To represent America, maybe.
That was about the only adult thing he said. Yeah, Carly was right. It's all filler words. And it's all, I'm not even sure what kind of speech we call it, sort of California slacker language or something. Carly, what will we call this linguistically?
Good question. Well, do we have a word for that? I always think of Valley Girl, although he's not a girl. Surfer dude.
Surfer dude.
Yeah.
And this story actually made the news because the Russian translator who was with him couldn't help translate him because nobody really knew what he was saying. So let's think about that phrase. This is the craziest thing ever. How are we going to translate that? What does that mean? Vlad, we're going to start with you. You've got a surfer dude vibe.
So was Vlad describe the positive feeling of isn't it?
Yeah. So Aliona, is he really crazy? Is when he says this is the craziest thing ever? Is he really saying he's crazy or not?
For him, he's not crazy.
No, yeah. He's sort of like saying this is a really cool thing, right? But he uses the word crazy. And, you know, so of course, if you're a translator, you're thinking, maybe I'll use the word sumashedshi, right? Which means crazy. But I don't think that Russian slang lets you do that. How would you translate this phrase, Aliona? This is the craziest thing ever. How might we say that in Russian? This is the coolest thing ever, Aliona.
How it sounds in Russian?
What would be a good translation? If you were his translator, how would you translate? How would you translate? This is the craziest thing ever.
In Russian?
In Russian, yeah.
Это самое сумасшедшее. Наверное,
Do you want to go ahead and type it in the chat there, maybe?
Should I write in Russian in the chat?
Yeah, do it in Russian in the chat. Pretend you're his translator. Why don't you all give it a try? Why doesn't everybody try and type a translation of this is the craziest thing ever? How would you get that into Russian?
And maybe so, I don't know. Ever translate like когда-либо. This is the craziest the summer сумасшедшая. I imagine such phrase.
So in fact, sumashedshi does work in Russian, right?
And the latest translation was very successful from Sergey.
Yeah.
Or from Vlad, maybe.
Yeah, Vlad, you've got two possibilities here. Can you explain your two?
Explain what?
So why did you pick Polny Vlinas?
Because it's slang, Russian slang, teenager slang.
Yeah, so you said, okay, what's a good equivalent in Russian slang?
And it's
Dikaya
yeah. It's pretty close to the phrase, the craziest thing.
Yeah, Sergey, what did you put in there?
Это самая умопомрачительная штука. Умопомрачительная.
Very cool. Yeah.
You know, it's always hard to give examples because when you use it, you never think about what you're saying.
It's a literate phrase. Konstantin is right.
It's a much more literate way. Yeah, look at Konstantin. I like your example, right? Zamechitelная subject. Right, a much higher style that you might hear. Very nice. And this is a hard problem, right? So if you are his translator, he says things like, "This is the craziest thing ever." And you have just a few seconds. Olga, yeah, I like that. Olga, why did you translate it that way? Very good.
Why?
Yeah.
Word crazy, it can mean in different translation you can say невероятное, умопомрачительное, замечательное.
Yeah, exactly.
So much synonyms.
Yeah, so they're not maybe exact synonyms, but they capture the sense of the word crazy. Yeah, you are excellent. You are exactly right. Very nice. And Nastya, good translation. I see Vlad's working on one too. Vlad, do you want to explain that last one? If Professor Marston were here, how would you explain that, Vlad?
Some kind of bad word.
Well, maybe we'll come back to that because that may also be a good translation.
I don't know. Maybe it's like American. It's a goddamn good thing, maybe something like that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that next week, I promise, because we have some more challenges coming ahead. Very nice, good ideas from everybody. I really like that. Well, we are unfortunately out of time, but as I said, we are going to mail you the links to two different videos. We're going to mail you the link to this video and a news story about it, and then we're going to mail you another Olympic link, which is a very common genre in American media coverage of the Olympics. So what we will do, please check on Webalog. We're going to ask you to view two videos and do a short post, and we will send you all that information in just probably in the next day or so. Carly, anything to add in wrapping up?
No, I don't think so. I would just like to encourage you guys to keep posting your comments on time. If you could post them by midnight Sunday Omsk time, that's wonderful. That way we have time to review your comments and we can give you feedback.
Very nice. Good participation today. We learned a lot of things, I think, about Russia too, to really get a sense for how you are all thinking about the Olympics and how Russia is thinking about the Olympics. So have a good week, and we will look forward to talking to you all next Tuesday.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good week too. Bye.
Goodbye.
You too. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
A good week. Carly, I'll be right back.
Sure. I'll be here.